How's it going, everyone? It's Ken from Pixelated Thoughts, and like the video title suggests, we wanted to see if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was as bad as the critics say. Like my buddy Brad, I want to give games the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise, and we wanted to make a series about critically panned games to see if the criticism received upon release was too harsh. So our plan for this was to play until we either completed the game or we gave up. The news is not good. We just quit after the Flash fight. Well, at least I did. Largely in part because of how disappointed I was with how it ended. Wait.
He's done. We got him.
Is the sound cutting off for you too?
No, he's just that lame.
It did for me a few times whenever I was playing it.
Yeah, I feel like the sound's just like cutting in and out. I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Oh, whoa, what just happened?
Tornado. Oh, he's right here. Okay, I shot him. All right, Flash is dead. Wait! What was this boss fight? This sucked. First off, this fight was poorly constructed. You're hopping around an arena, stunning the Flash, and then doing damage. All the while he is launching tornadoes and then zipping from one area to the next. As its health bar decreases, the frequency of those tornadoes increases, and visually, it can become pretty messy. There's just no real rhythm to this fight, and it felt awkward the entire time, and like the footage showed, it ended awkwardly and abruptly. Now, I can forgive a bad fight, but this was preceded by another boss fight in which you fight a massive construct of shipping containers that morphed into an artillery cannon. And here you are supposed to kill waves of enemies, pick up their essence, or at least that's what I'm calling it, launch those into weak points, and then shoot said weak points until they explode, and you have to repeat this 4 straight times. That fight was almost the final straw. But the cutscene that followed was fun, and we wanted to kill a member of the Justice League before ultimately making a decision on the game. The problem with the cutscene was that once the Flash got launched into the bus, there was almost zero chance he would survive the amount of bullets that were being shot at him, but somehow he did? There's no quick fix at all, bro.
There's no fix.
I know. Nuke it from fucking orbit and let's move on.
It's anti-Flash matter.
Ooh.
But I can't.
There's no way Shark doesn't miss every round, bro. There's no way, right?
Yes.
How do you miss every... It's a bus! I understand that this was more than likely done for comical effect and to also showcase the Flash's ability to survive, but the tone doesn't match the grim surroundings. Metropolis at this point is effectively a dead zone, and as Brad mentions numerous times, there is practically no one to save. The moment you arrive, the entire city is a bloody mess, and the Justice League with their respective powers make it seem like an impossible task, but by the grace of comic book logic and plot armor on the scale that I've never seen before, the Suicide Squad will pull through. If Amanda Waller was a serious person, she would have nuked Metropolis from orbit and moved on. I mean, it's a ridiculous concept that any of the Suicide Squad would be able to kill a member of the Justice League without copious amounts of plot armor, which they obviously have. But Waller is such a serious character that there is zero chance she looked at the situation and said to herself that this was in any way salvageable. This would lead me to my point that what makes Suicide Squad playable is its ridiculous concept and the fact that it is carried by the chemistry of the 4 leads. Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and King Shark are all thoroughly entertaining characters, with Boomerang being the one who practically shines in every scene he is in. The bad news is that they were placed in a live service title that effectively scuttled the reputation of developer Rocksteady Games, who just so happened to be the same developers behind the Arkham series. This game is incredibly generic with questionable mechanics, bugs that are hilarious but immersive breaking, repetitive missions, far too many tutorials, and the worst character progression system I've seen in a AAA title. There are 3 skill trees, but instead of allowing the player to pick and choose what they want to progress, you go in sequential order from left to right. Why even have 3 trees to begin with? You're giving me experience for traversal and killing. They couldn't devise an experience system to separate them? I mean, shit. Borderlands did that years ago. How was Rocksteady not able to figure this out? Live service titles have been hit or miss since the industry became obsessed with them. Suicide Squad is definitely a missed opportunity. If this wasn't on sale or under $20, there is zero chance Brad and I would have picked it up. I also feel terrible because I convinced our buddy Brandon to get the game so that we could run 3s, and he quit within an hour and a half. The highlight for him was refunding the game. Oh, so you have the game up, just go to support.
Yep.
And then you put like, I want to permanently remove this game from my account. How many what's your playtime right now? Is it 4 hours or is it under 4?
Oh yeah, 99 minutes.
Okay.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, go. I want to permanently remove this game from my account, and then you can click to like you can request a refund, and you can just put like something like, oh, the game isn't what I expected or something. Oh my god, why did I die? What the fuck?
Because there was a bunch of enemies around you.
Most of his playthrough was through the opening tutorial, which sees you playing as all 4 characters, and I thought this was fine because it allows you to get a taste of all the controls, and you get to see everyone's different traversal abilities, but ultimately you learn that they all just kind of play and do the same thing. You shoot enemies, you stun enemies, you melee them, you throw grenades at them, and when your ability meters proc, you can use those too. By the way, the whole grenade tutorial was confusing at first because after you complete this section, you don't get grenades for like another hour. And so picture my confusion because I was trying to throw grenades early in the game because I thought I had them because they were included in the opening frickin' tutorial. So I don't understand why Rocksteady did that. Now, there is nothing wrong with learning about the mechanics, but it's during this time that I had questions about how the game was going to play out. For example, there was one part that really had me worried, and that was how you regenerated shields. So let me get this straight. I have to shoot enemies in the legs to stun them. Once they glow blue, then I melee them, and you have to hold that button down, okay, until you enter in an animation because it'll automatically kill them, and then they're going to drop shields and other resources. Why? Why is this a mechanic? When you are surrounded, this feels out of place. It's just odd, and there is no way that someone sat there and said, you know what wouldn't kill the flow of combat? Shooting enemies in the legs until they get stunned. Then afterwards, take the time to melee kill so that you can get shields. You're doing this, by the way, while you're being sniped at or shot at by a helicopter. I need to know where QA was at this moment. Why didn't you stop this shit when you had a chance? It completely upends the flow of combat and makes an awkward game even more awkward. It also doesn't help that the Suicide Squad game is just dull, which is crazy to say given how gorgeous some of the visuals are. And I would say next to the character chemistry, the visuals in this game do not disappoint in the slightest, and they feature some of the best facial animation that I have ever seen. That is, if you don't run into a bug that makes characters invisible. Now, what you're going to see up next is something that we don't know how we triggered it. We have no idea what we did wrong. But when it happens, it was unintentionally hilarious, and this bug extended itself to in-game cutscenes. I'm going to show a side-by-side of Brad and I's point of views, because not only did I have an invisible character, which was Harley, Captain Boomerang was invisible to Brad on his screen, and this was the best thing we saw in the game by far. The invisible woman hit him.
Where the hell are the rest of you? Waiting to strike.
It's Batman Woman.
We could have gotten a single player Arkham game and we got this shit instead.
there's no one there.
That makes it worse. Oh my god.
There's-
Just,
it's not even a full circle.
yes.
It was two halves. I am recording this, by the way.
Okay, good.
What have you done?
I'm gonna mesh your stuff in.
Batman got him. Please don't kill me, evil Wonder Woman. Look, here's his thumb. It just came off. I swear.
Is the thumb just floating? That's amazing.
You brought them, Amanda Waller. Unfortunately, you're damaging Argus property.
This is some bullshit. Got my daughter a Wonder Woman shirt last Christmas.
You have no
Oh my
authority
God.
here. Leave and take your criminals with you.
I'll say she does. I do like her design.
Her outfit in this one? Yeah, her design in this is good.
We trusted you. Let you live among us. Now your friends are slaughtering the people that
This bug lasted for a good long while too. We just couldn't figure it out. I thought that after the squad got their gear back that Harley and Boomerang would go back to normal, but it was a while before the game finally righted itself. And by the way, it is never a good sign when a bug or a glitch is considered the best part of your game. I don't want to go in depth about the mission structure found in this game. Just know that the majority of it involved killing multiple enemies, protecting a certain area by killing multiple enemies, or killing multiple enemies and then activating a shield. You then have to rinse and repeat this multiple times, and it is as dull as it sounds. Now sometimes you got a car, but that car would explode after a certain period of time, which is just a killjoy because that part was kind of fun, but when it ends, it just ends. But don't worry, you get a mission complete screen and a loot drop, and for whatever reason, that loot drop takes a while to open, and for the life of me, I can't fathom as to why this is. I assume it's because the loot is specific to a character, and this was just the best course of action or the only idea Rocksteady could think of. Look, I don't know why. And I also don't know why at this point I'm making up excuses for Rocksteady, but there's gotta be a method to this madness. I cannot believe that we got this generic ass looter shooter rather than a co-op game that featured the Nemesis system. And sure, the traversal can be cool at times, but you have to navigate past the cooldowns at the beginning, and that can make this a chore to manage. Instead of allowing the player the ability to upgrade the traversal skill tree on its own, the developer decided that sequential order was the best move, which, no, it friggin' wasn't. This game has its moments, but they are mostly found in cutscenes. In the end, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League had so much potential. There were so many cool introductions to characters only for them to end up as vendors or just quest givers. The Penguin, Poison Ivy, Toyman. It's the damnedest thing that the game just straight up shows off these cool characters and then completely wastes their potential. It's a shame because the DC universe is vast. The concept of this game is actually really cool. It's just bogged down by so many live service systems that it ends up being a shallow experience. This is the type of game that makes you hate the live service market even with all of its potential. And sure, the production values are excellent, but that won't save you when the gameplay isn't on the same level. I had to ask Brad whether or not he enjoyed this or Anthem more, and this was his answer. I'm going to ask this question to you, Brad, and you have to answer honestly.
Okay.
What did you have more fun in, this or Anthem? And be honest.
I will say Anthem was a much more polished experience.
That is insane. So are we saying Anthem did not deserve to die?
It did. It was really weird. They were like every like demo and like teaser and everything was like the flying mechanic.
And the flying mechanic was good, by the way. That was probably
It was really nice, but you only did it between missions. Like you would leave the city and you would fly to the mission. that was all the flying you would do. Like
Here
it was
we go.
It was nice. It was cool, but it was 45 seconds of a 20-minute mission.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Lock in, lock in, lock in. This is gonna be the best part of the game.
Or I am going to die.
By the way, he still didn't give a definitive answer, so I assume that maybe he just disliked them both in the end. Now, I understand that there are going to be individuals who are completely fine with what Suicide Squad is, but one thing it is not is a game that is worth full price and one that should be played solo. Don't do it. Play this cooperatively. Do not suffer alone. When recent games go on sale, it's usually for 10 to 15%, not 70% like Suicide Squad currently is. I just don't know how Rocksteady recovers from this, because this was their Anthem moment, and like BioWare, they failed to create anything of substance. Unlike BioWare, who has been given multiple lifelines, I don't think the shit show that is WB Games is going to be as lenient. This game bombed, and for good reason. I would hate for this to be the nail in the coffin for Rocksteady, but there is no way in hell I can see Suicide Squad surviving past this year. There are just far too many changes that need to be made, and it would be practically like starting over from scratch. So if you have any hope for this game, I would really push that to the back of your mind. My advice to you, play Stardew Valley instead. At least there, you're going to get what you paid for. And that's going to do it for this video. If you happen to like the content, please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. I don't know what game we're going to cover next. I'm hoping that it's not Rainbow Six Siege Extraction, but it more than likely will be. I am Ken from Pixelated Thoughts, and I will talk to you next time.